Right, good evening and welcome to the Broadcasting Lounge for another exciting night of racing. We're in Portugal tonight at Portimao circuit, famous for stepping in during the COVID times um, to cover a couple of Formula One races here. And we're going to put some hypercars and GT3s around here tonight in the HPR series. Joined in the Broadcasting Lounge tonight by Doug and Sean. How are you guys going?
Yeah, Dougie's good, unwell, but good.
And you know me, Shane, I'm looking forward to this. Should be some action-packed racing on track with these two classes.
Yeah, absolutely. Looking forward to it. Can't wait to get into it. We can have a quick look at what we've got in store tonight. Unfortunately, SDK doesn't have a track map for us yet for this place, so we can't see that in our information there, but we can see that we are here for the MRP HPR series round 2 at Portimao, and we've got a 4.58 kilometre circuit on the Grand Prix layout.
We have indeed, and we're looking at a solid 21 degrees out there today, 81% humidity. The sky is clear, a little bit of wind out there, 30 k's breezing around from side to side. But for the lovers of the dry racing at home, no sign of wetness tonight.
Yeah, that's right. No rain forecast here in the beautiful Algarve region of Portugal. And you can see there we're just ticking over to the end of qualifying, so the cars are going to start lining up on the grid very soon.
Yeah, really cool to see there. Obviously, our typical names at the top, and one of those names a wee bit of a surprise, but joining us now for the second week in a row in the GT3 series, Darren Lobb. Obviously, we're familiar with that name across in our V8 series. Took out the championship last season there, and he's taken out top qualifier tonight over Paul Blomqvist in the GT3 field. And at the top we have our regular fast guys, Stefan McCartain and Christian Hermansen at the top of our GTP field. So certainly going to be shining up to being very likely some super hot, super fast racing competitions tonight for our two heat races.
Yeah, and as you can see there, as Doug said, Stefan McCartan on pole from Christian Hermansen, Aaron Goodrick and Jack Hintz lining up behind them on the second row, Wayne Hartnell and Kristen Jenkins 5th and 6th, and then Thomas McCall rounds out the GT3 field there in 7th. We do have Dan Turner in a GTP field in 7th there. We do have Dan Turner in a GTP as well. Looks like he hasn't set a qualifying time, so we may see him starting with the GT3s, or they might let him come through and start from the tail of the GTP field as well. And then we can roll on down into the GT3 field. We've got Darren Lobb on pole from Paul Blomqvist, Quinn Wilson 3rd, Nico Cordia 5th, Nick McIndoe 6th, Jason Bigby 7th, and Blake Greenhall 8th.
Yep, and then following on from them, we have Andrew Uden, who you've been having great battles with across in the V8s, lining up against Louis Roberts there. Falling back to P10, I believe, Leith Swinney over Nathan Gardner, Adam Hughes and Daniel Johnson bringing up the next grid lines, Mark Mudgeway and James McKenzie. There should be a good pairing at the back, be hot competitions. Brendan Brownie and Chris Zalewski just a touch ahead of Dane Nordirth, one of the last qualifiers out there. Looks like Gerald Eccleston may have not been able to put in a time and be starting off the end of the field there.
Yeah, we can see they're rolling away on the formation lap now. And GTP cars off and warming up their tyres behind the safety truck you've given them tonight, Doug.
Yes, indeed. Yep, I like to put the most biggest, ugliest car in front of those low to the ground, super sleek, super fast GTP cars. It must look hilarious from inside one of those cars, looking at the back of that truck. Be like chasing a monster truck down the straightaway.
We can probably get a look at that actually as we jump on board. Stefan McCartan. can't even see the top of the safety truck out the windscreen.
With the lights on or off, maybe trying to lean forward on those belts. Wouldn't be one to forget when you mash the accelerator though. And while you've got the GTP field crawling away up towards the final few corners here, I believe, or no, they're actually doing I believe the full lap of the track. So
I think it's a slightly shortened lap, not quite the full lap.
okay, cool.
Should be coming towards the end of
Can see the GT3 field with Darren Lobb. They're keeping it nice and tight. Everyone bunched up nicely with that one, and they've got about an 18-second gap back to from our GTP cars, so we'll be able to see them hoon through a fair few corners before these guys get underway.
Yes, I might need you to keep an eye on the YouTube chat for me as well, because I haven't quite got my software set up to be able to display that. And we're going racing now, and it's going to be Stephen McCartan to lead them away down towards turn 1. And meanwhile, Aaron Goodrick having a bit of a look down the inside. He's sitting in third position there. Wasn't quite able to get up to Christian Hermansen, who's actually dropped back a little bit from Christian, taking some pressure from Jack Vince at the moment as well. Meanwhile, the GT3's just coming in through the first few corners now, and it was Paul Blomqvist leading from Quinn Wilson. Darren Lobb putting a move on, and there's contact, and Quinn's gone around, and he's going to drop back. I think more contact as well. I think he made the fence there at the end. Hopefully managed to get through that without collecting any other cars, but he certainly made the fence and rejoining after everyone else has gone through.
Yeah, just basically squeezed him for a
bit. And there's, sorry to interrupt you, Sean, there's a moment, I think that might have been, well, it was certainly one of the...
like Brownie, maybe, with Jared Eccleston?
Yeah, certainly one of the Simbex cars, I think it was Jared Eccleston. Got his name here, looks like he's back going again, looks like he was involved in that, and yeah, potentially Brendan Brownie as well.
Yep.
Yeah, showing the M&M's car there, and he's towed back to pit lane.
It looked like Quinn just squeezed himself for a bit of room to try to move over to the left a bit, and there's no car there, so 2 cars in one spot don't really work, do they? So,
no, it's
in result. Just trying to find out what happened with Jared and Public. Give you an update of that soon enough.
Indeed. So, Jack challenging Aaron Goodrick there. No one changing position yet in the GTP field. My apologies, read that the wrong way round. And Jack with the just being challenged there by Wayne Hartnell, but he's got his hands busy with Ride-Off Jenkins in behind him. So, but still no positional changes yet for the GTP field.
Yeah, the Team West battle continuing on from last week. Great to see these guys stepping up into GTP as Christian just goes a little bit wide there, and quite wide actually, and cost himself a lot of time to his teammate Wayne Hartnell there, and you can see the gap he's been able to open up, and with that pressure off from behind, he will be getting his eyes forward and looking to see if he can put the pressure back on Jack now.
Indeed. Right off, obviously, that this is his second race in the HPR series in the GTP car, much more familiarised with racing in the GT3 field, and having raced in that for a good couple of years, is finding it a wee bit of a struggle with the transition across to the GTP car. Obviously different balance, different aero and mechanical grip to play with there, and just the fact that it's able to do about an extra 120 kilometres an hour in a straight line. It's a lot more for the brain to compute and to work with. And let's not forget that Rodolph is one of those guys that's he's paraplegic and is operating with hand controls. He's got no function of his lower part of his extremities. So when things are happening at greater speeds, it's taking a lot for the brain and hands to keep up. So wishing him the best for the season moving forward, and hopefully he can get stuck back into that battle with his teammate there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the big thing about the step up from GT3 to GTP as well is the GTP does have, as I hear someone having a big sign in the background. Not quite sure who that was. But yeah, the GTP does have significantly fewer driver aids than the GT3. Most notably, I think in the ABS, it does have traction control on the GTP, but certainly with ABS, you have to get that braking right in those cars or you will lock a brake very easily. Whereas with the GT3s, if you put a bit too much pressure on, you can sort of get away with where the ABS will look after you. Of course, if you rely on the ABS, then you are losing some braking performance there, but if you do get it wrong, then it will get you out of trouble to an extent.
Indeed. And if anyone else in the background caught the sound of tyres sliding across the track there, as Shane mentioned, have had a look, and it was one Quinn Wilson trying to get back into the battle of things, sitting back there in 16th spot. Had a wee run-in with the curb at, I believe, turn 1s and 2, and just lost the rear end and did a big power slide out into the runaway. He's now dropped back to P22, so down 12 spots for Quinn currently from 12 spots, yeah, from where he started there. I believe 4th on the grid.
Yes, not the greatest of races so far for Quinn. We can go back and have a look at what happened to him at the start here. So battling side by side with Darren Lobb through turn 3 here, and yeah, just coming across a bit. Yeah, probably a racing incident. Darren could have been a little bit further to the left, but Quinn certainly couldn't count us down to the right, and he paid the price for trying to chop his nose off, I guess.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. You know, you've got to give racing room in this iRacing. The damage models are quite strange how they affect the car when you do rub up against another one. Yeah, so just got to give yourself, there's the replay of Jared trying to take 2 cars in one corner. Here we go.
So we can see that here.
I think he was going to make it too. The other car just needed to be a bit more spatially aware of what's going on, and we'll move on.
Yeah, it was certainly quite a big turn in towards the apex there, which a wider turning corner probably would have paid off everyone.
And who was the M&M car?
That was Brownie.
They're not Brownie?
Yes. Oh, yep. There we go.
We'll see you next week, eh?
And I'm not even sure this was the other Quinn Wilson. Oh, it might be the other Quinn Wilson moment that we heard in the background. Oh yeah, just grabbing that big sausage cab. And big drift, ends up on the infield and manages to get back on there. So, yep, those yellow things are best avoided in these cars. Best avoided in most cars on iRacing, to be fair, although some people may be privy to a bit of a technique on how you can take some of the bigger cabs in the V8.
Bit of throttle, mate. You know the drill.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And just saying, what have you got incident points? What's the next incident points for this race tonight? Because I think Quinn's been racking them up.
I believe it should be 17.
Yep, so it's 17. It will be, yeah. So across the board for the season, it's locked in, no changes.
Yep.
As Shane said, so 17 will get you a walk down the pit lane. You get 2 of those, and that's obviously 34, and then you can only have 6 more mistakes before you get departed from the service. So 2 lots of 17 and one of 40 will say bye.
So Quinn is leading the incident points. Someone can home and try and put in how many points he thinks he's got in the first. How many overs are up? We're up to the lap 5, lap 6. What are we up to?
We're on
Yep,
lap
lap
6,
six, yeah.
lap 6, yes.
6. He just got another point as I was speeding, and he's around the game. He's in the wall hard. Oh no! Am I live?
Are we
Yes, I
saying if
Okay.
someone can guess the correct incidents that we might give them a napper cap and a bottle opener?
I think we would. But he keeps getting points as we're talking, so I don't know how we're going to judge this.
I think
He's got
we
3
judge it.
points.
I think we judge it the moment we see the comment. If it's the correct answer, they win.
That's right.
Because he got 3 points in the space of like 10 seconds, you know. I couldn't write it any better about talking about guessing it, and then he's just sliding into a wall. And not last, but he wins.
If you run it like the roulette wheel, like if someone picks double zero, like do you give them the double thing? If he sticks around to be disqualified, do we raise the stakes? If someone calls that one, we'll throw in a Supercars NZ mug as well.
Oh, of course we will. You get the mug. You probably get the stubby cooler as well, especially.
There we go. So if anyone picks the DQ and the particular driver gets there you go, folks. You'll have yourself a couple of items from Napa and a couple of items from Supercars NZ.
Meanwhile, Quinn's
Alright.
teammate Paul Blomqvist in a pretty decent battle for the lead of GT3 with Darren Love 4/10 of a second behind him at the moment, but that's just been seesawing a little bit as well, as Paul's run a little bit wide there, and that could give Darren half a sniff.
So Paul's like a 4-time champion, or if not more, isn't he? 5-time champion of the GT3s now Serie.
Oh, bit of a touch there, sorry Sean.
No, I'm watching. I'm enjoying it.
I'm really enjoying this this battle. Both of these guys in their respective field, you know, big time charges, and they've both got enough racing pedigree here at Supercars NZ to certainly know how to work a race. And these two are at the moment putting everything on the line, and I really hope this continues for the remainder of this first heat race.
This could be a pinch point down here as they go side by side into turn 1, but they've got through there cleanly. Darren's managed to get through in the lead, but a big dive from Paul down into turn 3 there. Probably a light tap on the door, but Paul just didn't have the line to carry the momentum through, and Darren's been able to hold on for the moment. Got another good straight will allow Paul to get the draft here down to the hairpin.
How cool was that? I mean, the control in the Porsche there, Paul to be able to throw them down on the inside, and for Darren just to still have the gonads to say, you know what, that's fine, you can throw yourself down there, but I'm not compromised, and I've still got gas on my side, and I'm just going to keep charging ahead. Anyone else currently at the moment would have said, yeah, okay, Kakatiano, Paul, happy Matariki Day, brother, it's all yours, see you later.
And look who's coming up on this as well.
Yeah.
Stephen McCartan coming up to let them.
He's got around. Sorry, Joe. I was thinking, oh, if that was me, I'd be like, oh no, stay away.
Oh, Darren taking the wider line through the first part of that corner, opened the door for Paul to send it in there, but again, Darren's able to just carry that momentum around the outside. Bit more of a door banger there, and I think that's been enough for Paul to get the job done. Can he get down in front of Darren's nose into this corner?
This is an extremely tricky scenario for Christian here as well, because he doesn't want to get in the middle of these two battling for P1, but he's desperately wanting to get by to be able to keep in touch with Stefan. So done nicely getting through that section of racetrack there cleanly for all of them. And this lap round, it's Paul Blomqvist leading it across the line. I don't know about you, but my data sheet shows about 10 passes from that last lap between those two.
That was certainly an exciting battle, and it's still going on. You can see, well, Darren had the pace to put the pressure on him since the start of the race, and he managed to find his way around, but couldn't make it stick in the end, and I'd say he's going to keep putting that pressure on.
Maybe a bit of an onboard shot from Darren's perspective as he's challenging Paul through a few corners might be interesting one to see.
I was actually going to jump on the roll bar cam just before they started going side by side, so I left it on the external at that point, but we can certainly have a look now from in car with Darren.
It looks like Paul's put a bit of a challenge to Garrett as a message across and that rear bumper.
Hooked her.
Yeah.
Oh no, is it really? Is it really? Is it?
Well,
I can't even believe it.
it's just the second part of that, but
There will always be messages I used to send from the start about it. He's gone on the inside.
oh, there's contact.
Oh! And here
Darren
comes
just
Darren.
held onto it.
Yeah. Darren's looking at this going, oh, I don't want to be a part of it. He was quite wide there too.
You see Garrett has enough grip on those rear trees to be able to pull back in through these next section corners.
There goes Jack flying past.
I love your sound.
They're just incredible to see blow by, eh? Like, there's something about them, they really get my heart going.
I mean, when you know you're pushing these things as hard as you can, and then one of those things comes flying past like that, it's a little bit unnerving, isn't it?
It's not even that, because like you said, you're already on the edge of your own seat and you feel like you're tanking along, and you are. Like, these things are not slow, and then you get one of those GTP cars going scream past you, and you're just like, your jaw hits the floor, or at least the bottom of the helmet strap at least. And, you know, like, they're just incredible. And we're getting close. He's going to wind the window down in a minute.
That's alright. We all know Paul's a professional driver, but Darren must do a bit of actual circuit racing himself. Was he just the man on the sim? What's Darren's backstory?
I actually don't have the details on that myself.
Yeah. Because we all know Paul's accomplished what he does.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, Paul's pastime is driving the fast taxi around the Highlands Motorsport Park. So,
our dream job is
yeah.
Oh, that's a bit awkward there. Wayne Hartnell. And, Tom McCall involved in that as well, and he's getting held up in the final corner.
I just love it, you know, like, you're bleeding so hard into those tyres, and those GTP cars are literally flicking left and right in between you, like, oh, should I go left, should I go right, it's so undecided, left, right, I don't know, I'll just go both ways at the same time. GT3 car, you're desperately holding on for all of the amounts of traction, you're tapping a wee bit of accelerator, touching a wee bit of brake, just trying to keep the thing in control. The GTP guy's got half a second to make his decision on left or right.
So we've got a couple more replays to take a quick look at as well while this is a little bit more settled down for the moment. So
Yep.
Leith Swinney has had a moment out there in the BSK Mustang.
It's certainly offline there.
Oh, just losing the rear there and parking it up on the curb. Trying to get out of the way, and
That's the worst thing, eh? He's trying to go backwards to get off the line and ends up tagging the car.
yeah, it's a hard one. It's a hard one when you know you're parked on the racing line. You want to get out of the way, but sometimes the best thing is just stay still. I think Daniel Johnson is actually the other car that was... No, Daniel Johnson's had a moment of his own. At the same corner? Yeah, same corner.
I love it.
Man, there must be some oil drop.
Yeah.
Or maybe he was wondering when he came into the corner.
Oh!
Like, what's Leith done?
What do you got there?
While we've been looking at replays, Paul Blomqvist has had a crash. I think there was a little bit of contact there.
I don't know if there was. I don't even want to call.
I think we need to digest this and get a different angle. I think we need to look right
aero disturbance.
Hard to see from the nose.
I think we need to get on the nose of the old mate. Looking at anything there, eh? No.
I reckon there was aero disturbance on that one.
I reckon it was the curb itself. He must have run up the curb. Anyway, lobby's gone.
You go for a bit of chase cam, I might be able to get us an angle on it.
Yeah,
We could be here
potentially.
all night. We could be here all night trying to get Lobby in trouble. That's what it is, isn't it? We're trying to hunt him down, trying to crucify him. I did.
Yeah, I think there wasn't front
Definitely
wheels.
contact.
Yeah, it looked like Paul was compromised by running a little bit too shallow into
Yep.
the corner, and he's bounced back into the side of Daz. So unlucky, and I'm not too sure what's happened with Paul. I haven't seen him drop out or disconnect, but I don't know if he's still out there.
Still got him circulating in
There you
P5
go.
at the moment.
Nice.
All right.
There you go.
And I'll just have a look down the field and see what these other races are up to. The Louis Robinsons. And,
Well, we've got Quinn
there other
Wilson's
races?
just put a pass on Jared Eccleston, so we can have a look at that, because I know Jared's never one to give up a position lightly, no matter how it is.
no, he's one of the best racers I know.
Oh, we've just
It's just
Wow.
It's the funniest thing I've ever seen. It's like trying to show up Jared in his nice drive and just go flat. That is funny.
okay.
People
Well,
at home don't realise how funny that is. Moving forward.
Can confirm we have just lost Leith Swinney to packet loss connection there, so issues with the old internet connection, and he was struggling with that during the practice as well. So unlucky for Leith. That's one car out of the GTP field that will not be circulating the remainder of this HPR race.
So, did we have an update? Anyone called in about these incident points for or
no, we haven't had that yet. Anybody watching at home, if you reckon you
Scott
know how many Scott's made a comment, but no action on the
he doesn't
on the incident points. So anybody watching at home that does think they know how many incident points Quinn might have at this moment, chuck a guess in the chat, and if you're right, you'll take home a Napa cap and a bottle opener.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, we've got Mark Mudgway just coming up very close to Quinn with the amount to try and lead these incident points. I know Mark, I've got a huge apology to him, because I basically took him out on Tuesday night, so big apologies, Mark. Hope tonight's going better, but it doesn't look like it.
Well, he's in a bit of a battle at the moment with Nathan Gardner.
Oh, you never know. How many laps have we got left, you think?
Well, it's probably going to be one more lap after this, I'd say.
Okay, so it's very close. Love time races, eh? You just never know. Except for the time. This lap will next. And we haven't talked about this weekly sponsor either, because we have a shout out in race 1.
Yeah, well, I think I owe Phoenix Driver Development a big shout out, don't I?
Well,
possibly.
You do. Of course you do. I have to
So,
say, gaining me about 6/10 on my best lap around last week in the V8. So they
yeah, absolutely. Sean and I are both part of Phoenix Driver Development, and we've both had some very good gains from them. Sean actually now competing near the front of Div 1 on a regular basis. We're a little bit further back, but I've come across a pretty big milestone myself where I managed to grab the win in Div 2 in the V8 last week and followed that up with the podium on Tuesday night at Fuji.
What is Phoenix Driver Development?
So they're part little side thing from Phoenix Racing Team, which is the team that Leslie Anagay runs, and he and Rehan set up Phoenix Driver Development to basically give back to Supercars NZ, who welcomed Rehan as an Australian driver at a very young age, and we've enjoyed having Rehan racing in the league. And yeah, they set up Phoenix Driver Development to give back and coach some of the drivers that have been around the league for a long time, and even some that haven't, and basically anybody that's willing to give them a little bit of money back for their time and their setups. And actually we've reached the finish, so we can click on Stephen McCartan just actually crossing the line amongst a big group of GT3s, and Christian Hermanson is going to come across in P2. Aaron Goodrick's name already greyed out, so I think he's already crossed the line, maybe a lap down, or I might still be having some slight data issues coming through because it looks like he is still racing to the line.
Yeah, we got to start doing that. I talk too much about things. We forget about the racing.
That's right.
Work on there.
We can come back to what we were talking about in the warm-up as well, so that's all good.
Of course we can. So we had a bit of I had someone with a meatball out there. Their name's disappeared now with the meatball, so not sure who that was. Incident points, we had people on 15 points, 14 points, 14 points. So it's some of them 16 points for Jared. So very close to getting the drive.
So Scott Pickering's guess of 7 was probably not quite right.
Just that like 1 or 2 for Quinn. Probably lap 2 for Quinn was on 7.
Well, now that one's concluded, although Darren's still yet to officially claim the win in GT3, but Blake Greenhill's already taken the checkered flag in P2, so this is going to be really just a formality of Darren getting to the line to take the checkered flag. But yeah, now that this race is pretty much done, maybe we can make it, if you can guess what the highest number of incident points in the second race is, then you'll take away the prize.
Exactly. Yeah, good on you, Scott, for at least giving it a go. I think some other people need to put their name up, and we'll hear from them soon.
And maybe if we don't get a correct guess for the highest incident points in the second race, then it'll be closest guess.
Yeah, of course it will. Scott probably doesn't need another bottle opener, but I'm sure we can hook him up with something. Maybe some more iRacing dollars so he gets out on track.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Alright, so we are ticking over into the warm-up session now. So 5 minutes for these guys to either do a bit more practice for the second race if there's anything they want to work on, or they might just decide they need to go and use the toilet, get themselves comfortable, fill up the drink bottle, pull a few more layers off if they're getting a bit warm in the sim. Clearly Doug and Sean have nothing to that, so I'll go back to Phoenix driver development.
Sorry, he just texted me. I forgot to sign up to the data on VRS. He's basically telling me off like right now. So I'm gonna have to tell him. Sorry, just talking about you on the stream.
Yeah.
that is classic. But the data side is a big part of what they're doing with the driver development, and really only brought that in the last season and a half, I think. But it's certainly revealed some big areas for people to gain, and certainly revealed a big area for me where I've got a lot to work on with my braking, and I have always observed that my braking distances are often a lot longer than some of the faster cars, and now I've actually got a bit of an idea of why that is and what I can work on, because Rehan's been able to overlay his data with my data, and I've been able to see what I'm doing there that's
Can they
not,
fit that
not
on the
quite
same
ideal.
screen, Shane? That data.
Yeah. Somehow I think VRS compresses it enough to make it fit on the screen. Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. So Sean, once you've got your data there, they'll be able to do the same for you.
yeah. He runs triples when he loads my data.
No, that's really cool. That obviously their specialty is the V8s. We do know that Rehan has gone and dabbled in the GT3s in the past, and one of those was the Tri-Nation Cup last year. The took part in the Ferraris where they raced New Zealand and Australia against South Africa, and I believe that tournament's going to be coming up again in the not too distant future. So check out the Phoenix driver development page, or just Phoenix team there on Facebook, and follow the boys there, see what they do, and just keep an eye out on a cool young racing dude moving his way up through the iRacing competitive channels.
Absolutely, and Rehan doing very well in Scops, which is a very impressive championship for anybody that doesn't know about it. It's basically the premiere of online V8 supercar racing, and Rehan's
Correct.
always racing in and around the top five of that series, so doing a very good job there. And massive thanks to Laz and Rehan for the time they put into it as well, because Laz does have a job, Rehan goes to school. Rehan also does a lot of racing in other categories like Scops and various things around iRacing, and they still find the time to put into
Yeah.
telling us less talented individuals how to get a bit more talented, and even into building the setups, which are always fantastic setups as well. So very
One of
awesome stuff.
those things when you sort of know them a wee bit more in the background and you know what all the other bits and pieces that Rehan's involved with outside of his schooling and bits and pieces. If it's not trying to get Dad to go and take him for car park drive rounds in the Subi, and it's sitting down and doing puzzles and Sudokus and Rubik's cubes, and then he's all out on the on the push bike and running laps around tracks and stuff. It's he's got an absolute monumental life, and he's thriving at everything that he tends to put his hand to. So we're pretty lucky here to know them and to have them in our corner sponsoring us. So yeah, big shout out and thank you to those guys.
Alright, so we're just ticking down towards the end of the warm-up session now. So we've actually been able to fill 5 minutes just talking about Phoenix driver development, so that's pretty cool. And you can even see the flag man waving the checkered flag around to signify the end of the warm-up. So we're going to start gridding for race 2 in a moment.
Yeah, it looked like he was telling Mark Mudgeway to bring it back in, bring it back in.
So we can have a quick look at the grid for race 2 as well. So Stefan McCartan on pole for GTP, Christian Hermansen there in second, Aaron Goodrick third, Kristen Jenkins climbing up to fourth, so a good result for him in the end after we saw him struggle a little bit early on. Jack Hintz in fifth, Wayne Hartnell sixth, and Tom McCall looks like he'll be rounding out the GTP field in seventh, with Nico Cordia taking the pole for GT3.
Yeah, well, awesome. So that's an interesting one. So there must have there could have possibly been a post-race penalty there with Darren. I believe I may have heard some background chatter before the race there that I think Darren may have been slowing up coming across the start-finish line behind the lead GTP class cars, or avoiding from trying to hit them, and Nico was close enough behind him that I think he might have just jumped him across the line.
Well, there's something weird that's going on there, because when we were on the final lap, it was showing Darren P1 from Blake Greenhill, but Blake was showing as already having taken the checkered flag while Darren was still going around on his final lap. Obviously, where you finish in relation to the GTP leader has an effect on that, so that's no surprise in itself. But I'm not quite sure where Nico Cordia's come from or how he's ended up on the pole for GT3. But anyway, he's there.
Yeah, so it's reading Nico Cordia from Darren Lobb and then Blake Greenhall. Then we're showing a few others from their finishing order. Is that Nick McKinday, Paul Blomqvist, Jason Bigby, and Louis Robertson there. So it does look like there's been a couple of changes towards the end of the race. Maybe a few people just being maybe a bit confused on who was running in checkered flags or who wasn't, due to how far through the GTP class car or how far they'd made it past other cars in the field. So yeah, keep on racing or clear the track, I think will be the message moving forward.
Yeah, well, iRacing certainly gives you the checkered flag when you cross the line, so as long as iRacing systems are working properly, there shouldn't really be any reason for too much confusion there, but yeah, something weird has appeared to have gone on, but I'm sure if we can't get to the bottom of it, hopefully we can figure out why or how to avoid it in the future.
Yeah. Now this is going to be quite an interesting one. I think this field of GTP cars will get away without too much rustle and bustle, but it's certainly going to be spicy from at least position 5 there in the GT3 field, and that's right on Paul Blomqvist. He's only got 2 cars ahead of him in a straight line before he's back on the front, but yeah, I've got my eyeballs firmly fixated on that, and Paul's pretty much shoving Blake Brendel down the front straight already.
So Stefan's got the jump
good.
on the GTP field. Aaron Goodrick going down the inside of Christian Hermansen at turn 1. Looks like they all managed to get through there cleanly, and we can jump back to the GT3 field. And one of the GTPs starting inside the GT3 field, just getting ahead of them as well. And it's going to be Darren leading from Nico down into turn 1. Making a move and getting turned and collecting Nico, and wow, that was a big one, and super unfortunate for Nico because he would have known absolutely zero about it. Looks like he's got some damage to his rear wheels there as well, as he's looped it again, and yeah, big crab what going on.
Big crab.
Well, I've certainly had a car driving like that, and my advice to Nico is just park it in tow because it's going to be a long drive back to the pits from here, mate.
Yeah,
that's what he's going to do.
So, good advice, Jay. Yeah, had to do that on Tuesday. The old park in tow. That bounce back, yeah, would have known it's coming either, eh? Just driving thinking he's
yeah, just he was turning into that corner and just would have been absolutely blindsided there.
You know these drivers are perfect, but it does gut you at the start of a race.
Yeah,
the whole thing to go, and everyone just needs to check up and just think about the long race, really. I believe anyway.
So Quinn Wilson on the fight back after his issues in race 1. Hopefully he can have a cleaner race this time around, and well, he's already not too far off the front.
Yeah, and making moves currently in the GTP class. We've had Christian Hermansen reclaiming back spot number 2 from Aaron Goodrick there, and he's now trying to desperately chase down Stephen McCartan from letting him get too far ahead. Already a 2-second gap, maybe too much for Christian to do too much about that. You never know. Something about fat ladies, listen. We'll love to still say that these days.
We can say whatever we want.
No offence to the younger generation that may be confused on that one. Maybe just Google the reference later on. My time and patience to explain it to you is not going to be something I'll give you at the minute.
Louis Robinson in the thick of it at the moment.
Is he with his teammate? Is it 2 of them right there? Is that what you got, Shane?
Well, that's Stonesy sitting just behind him, but
yeah.
But what? They're not mates.
Well, showing a lap down is what I was getting at. So
yeah, you paused. I didn't know why you paused. Sorry.
Well, I'm trying to wrap my head around how he's showing a lap down on lap 3 when I don't believe he was caught up in that race start drama.
No, I've got no data showing him being a lap down. He's right in the thick of it there. Louis Robinson and Jared Eccleston. Jared actually up 3 spots and Louis down 2.
Well done. So that brings them together. White wheels on 1, black wheels on another.
So potentially just a little timing error on my end on SDK. Hopefully that will sort itself out as they come across the line.
Nothing wrong with SDK, mate. SDK's perfect. Great.
Oh yeah, that's correcting itself now, I think. I think I'm just still having some issues with loading all the cars at the moment, despite the fact that I have got draw all cars selected, so I might need to look at my iRacing
Louis
settings.
fight. Louis.
That must have been so tight with Nico coming out of pit lane there.
Then starting to Stone's been able to take advantage. Yes, Andrew just behind these guys. Stone's has been able to take advantage of a little mistake from Louis and get by him there.
Yeah, I think he just coming out of that final corner down before the straightaway didn't quite get the right turn in, and Jared was able to just have a better run down there.
So I think Dan Turner has had some issues somewhere because he's just made his way past Darren Lobb for position on the overall, but obviously Dan in the GTP and Darren in the GT3, so Dan obviously running into some issues there.
Yeah, so Dan had started from towards the end of the GT3 field. He was the one that was making his way down from the start of that the second race.
Now I think this is going to be an interesting view of what happened on lap 1 there. Oh no, this is after it, sorry. I've grabbed the wrong bit of data.
It's the right way.
Should be this one then. You run a stream, Sean, and then criticise.
I knew that was coming eventually.
Oh, just absolutely no way of knowing that was coming.
Do you think it's just overcommitment from the other car?
Well,
What is it?
there was certainly some contact between a couple of cars that led to, I think it was Nick McIndoe being out of shape there. So Blake's on the outside.
Oh, Blake could have.
Well, there was some contact, but the way where the contact was and the way the car spun was a little bit weird as well. So I think probably some net code at play. It sort of hit him in the left rear corner where you'd expect Blake to shoot off to the left, but he shot off to the right.
Do you want the driver's point of view? Because I can do that in 2 seconds. Would you like a driver's point of view of whatever?
I think that would be quite helpful.
Hold the line, caller, let's go and get it. I'll get him on the line. Call in Belaki, come on in.
Oh, good evening, fellas.
Good evening,
No,
good evening.
it's not actually a good evening at all. This is the steward's office you've just walked into, Belaki.
Oh, I thought I might have to a little question to answer for that one.
Oh, so you know what we're talking about? Well, that's good,
do
because
you?
we had no idea, so it's nice that you're going to be honest.
I
Don't know what you're talking about.
It all just happened so quickly. I don't know. I mean, there's definitely contact, obviously, but it just seemed a lot more violent than
What it should have been?
what it should have been. So I wonder whether a net code possibly.
Yeah, well, look,
But yeah.
we just had a look at it in the replay, and we did note that from where the contact was, you would have expected him to shoot off hard left if anything, but he shot off hard right. So
Yeah,
certainly,
that's right.
certainly some unusual physics going on there anyway. So potentially a bit of netcode involved.
Yeah, and not only did he shoot off, he accelerated by about 40 miles an hour in the wrong direction. So
Yeah. But no, sorry to those boys. I think it took out Nico as well. So
Definitely did.
Yeah, Nico was absolutely the most unfortunate party in that. Just turned it into the corner, no idea what was coming, and just got absolutely smashed, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Shame.
and like a true Ford, the parts have failed, and the rear end's taken a whack, and it was the crabbing as it tried to pull away from recovering from its spin, which then ended up in another spin, and then doing the crab dance around the next corner, and then he finally thought, oh, I'm going to just park it up, but
Yeah, well, hard luck. Sorry about that, Nico, mate. That was an unfortunate result.
He's charging back through the field anyway as we speak.
Good.
Past a couple of people.
I think you might owe him some biltong, Blake.
Yes, quite possibly.
now you may have got the inside word on how Nico had actually managed to start from P1.
There was something to do with the lap. I think where Darren had potentially finished relative to the GTP cars lapping us on that last corner.
Uh-huh.
There was some chat about that, but I don't know if the boys are too sure.
So you have no idea that you could have said that.
Oh, look.
Basically, he told us story.
I know. There's only one rambler in the group, Blake, and you're talking to him at the moment, so if you're trying to cut the cheese, mate, just, do it politely.
Never let the
No,
truth
well,
get in the way of a
no,
good yarn, eh?
Oh, exactly.
Alright, well, we'll put you back down because you gave us absolutely earful.
Yeah, got to keep the cards close to the chest, mate.
So we'll see you in the stewards room after. Later, mate.
See you fellas, thank you.
Cheers, Blake. Man, how close was Louis to getting into the back of Mark Mudge right there, and then
Oh, no, it's incredible.
that I'm not sure which GTP that was that just made his way by, but that was pretty tight on them as well.
Yeah. I believe that is that not Stefan making his way through?
Potentially was, because he's the one that's just showing up red while I'm on Louis' name now, indicating that Louis has got a lap down on Stefan.
Something for you to have a weekend back at as well when things may or may have settled down when you feel like doing it. Just interested to see there was wee bit of exchanges.
Oh no! That would have been Christian Hermansen, P2 and GTP, and have you either just spotted Louis' little bio there? It is quite old, but it never gets old.
It must be the other shore.
Yeah.
Must be, yeah.
One with the W. No, I was going to say, Jack Hunt, where he started, he was having some battles there at the beginning with right off Jenkins, and then he's had a moment where he's actually then gone off the track, and that was right back at the start of the race. But I see he's now lapping at the rear of the class. So maybe something just to have a wee look at later on and build those stories from last year's hot competition to where they're at now.
So I got data Jack Hunt's going off track.
Yeah, just before much of that, you'll see there's a lot of Jack Hunts and right off net from each other.
Oh, that's a big tank slapper, and he has just found the barrier, but might have got away without too much damage. And the Team West car in behind, Dan Turner.
That would explain why he was ahead of the 33 field and then back towards the end of it. So
that would explain that.
I wonder if you can bring that up and see if he had the same kind of moment, or if he just had a shallower line and got attacked by a curb.
I can hopefully find some data on that.
We don't need to be on Louis going off track. He changed from Louis.
Oh, just the same thing.
Yeah,
wow.
Pretty much identical, just getting out on that curb and the big tank slapper. Super slippery out on that curb, I guess. Maybe bottoming out a little bit and stalling out the diffuser, not helping. And just because I know how much Sean wants to look at Louis.
You caught my just change. Just don't stop.
Alright, let's have a look at Blake, eh? He's showing some relatively close gaps as Quinn Wilson's just coming up behind him actually, so this could be an interesting one to stick on for a little while.
Yeah, jump on board with Quinn and see how long it takes for him to dial him in.
I think they can find the flag the he's normally quite quick, but I don't think he's that.
Blake's only quick at saving gas.
I believe these two are actually very similar in race pace. So I hold him back quite a bit. Not give it to him. So.
Well, he's certainly racing quite smart at the moment. He's taking up a lot of track real estate, not really letting him sort of size up too much of where to go to. So yeah, I mean, you can hear Quinn working really hard on that wheel, and the rear tyres just started to
That's a
look and
long
slide a
loaded
little bit.
corner. I know. Loaded the whole time around.
Yeah, and here you got to get this turning just right.
Yeah, so they're not flat. I saw them put the brakes in.
Yeah, so Blake just
Oh, and then there's a fight! And then you even shit yourself. Oh, really?
So then we tap the brakes just to keep that front wheel locked down into that turn.
Oh, there's another
Oh!
one. There's someone up on the inside.
That's going to be Aaron Goodrick, I believe.
Yeah.
Getting it regathered, but certainly losing out big time, and he's got Christian all over the back of him there now.
The segue from one battle into another. That's cool. I love it.
That's Christian Jenkins, not Christian Hermanson. Kristen and Christian.
Well done. Somebody's sick. You're very good at your pronunciation. You've got a radio voice.
Maybe only this week.
Unfortunately, it doesn't look like I've got any data on Aaron's moment there.
Oh,
So we can't go back into that.
and I see Wayne Hartnell just gone and turned himself around again.
Oh, here we go.
Kristen's had a moment.
Little points are up.
Oh, Kristen just getting out into the gravel and looping it around there.
Yeah.
Wow.
These GTP cars are really struggling tonight here with keeping themselves stuck down to the road. Like looking at it though, like I mean, partly cloudy, 21 degrees. The track's only 28, so I reckon these guys are just pushing too hard.
I thought you were just going to call them Muppets, see? I really did. I really did thought that was going to come out of your mouth. No. I did the GTP beat you last week, and considered very sensitive cars, aren't they?
Well,
They
again, like I
definitely
said,
are
I think
that.
earlier was, and like we spoke, said about Ryan Jenkins running the hand controllers, everything just happens that much faster in the GTP class car. You don't have the same time to react to those small errors.
Ooh.
And if you do, it's usually because you're trying to drive an error into the car as opposed to coming across an unwanted one. Yeah. And if people are confused with why I say driving into an error, it's obviously not all the time you're wanting a car to behave in a particular way.
Well, you expect it. You expect
correct.
it to behave.
That's right.
Way,
yeah.
And it doesn't do what you think it's going to. At those speeds, there is no getting it back. It's like, oh well, this is what we've done. Let's suffer the consequences. So great explanation here, Doug. I love the technology, and it is right. If people at home that if they listen, oh, this is just a game, well, go, jump in a car, have a go. Go around to Doug's house. His house.
Yeah.
He's not home between 9 and 3.
Yeah.
The Sims on
the weekends. Yeah. No, but seriously, like there's a huge platform out there for racing, and we are quite lucky. There are a number of destinations throughout New Zealand, North and South Island included, where if you look them up, there'll be certain simulation bars, or especially like some of those inside golf places, the golf simulator places. A lot of them have now paired up with a company called Racing Sims, one through the South Island here. I know there's a few floating around the North Island as well. But they run the iRacing platform. They've often got weekly or if not monthly challenges there. So go and book yourself in for a half-hour session. Go and have a week tour around and tell us how exhausted you are after doing just that. So
most people catch the bug, wouldn't they? You get on these for a couple of hours, mate. I'm sure you catch the bug.
100%. And you know, if it's a bug that you're interested in, once you've gone and tried, you know, that good quality gear, you know, nothing better than going and getting in touch with, you know, Barry Mannon down at Mannon Racing Products there, MRP, sponsor of the HPR series. They'll have turnkey kits for you, and otherwise, if not, just some, they'll have the racing hardware there for you to be able to purchase and put it together yourself at home.
Yeah, but it's not just that; it's the knowledge too that he brings to it, isn't it? Like you'll find something for your budget too. I mean, not everyone can afford the massive turnkey setups, but I mean, knowledge is king. And as I said, the bug that you get from this, if you're into it, just motorsport in general, doesn't take much to get this bug, and you're in. You know.
I mean, it's certainly a step above Gran Turismo, where you can still drive through the other car in front of you.
Yeah, he used the word today. I saw in a post on Facebook. It was like from the G29 Logitech up to direct drive. He just said it's like a kid's toy going to something real. You know.
Well, I suppose the big difference is you're playing with a yard versus, you know, driving one of the proper four-drive off-roading you know, remote control cars.
Oh, Quinn having a look on the inside of Blake there at the hairpin.
And
Just
we've
ran out
got
of
Lob
room and
complaining
back out
about
of it.
someone as well. Sorry, Shane, to cut you off. Like that.
That's right, Sean.
So yeah, Lobby having a bit of a complaint as well. So it'd be good to see a bit of a replay on that if you get that too, Shane, if you get a chance.
Not sure we're going to have data on that. I have a feeling looking at where he is and the gaps around him, that may have been complaining about a GTP car getting by him maybe a bit impatiently.
Yes. But as I said, with this little bit that we've been following for 5 minutes while we've been jibber-jabbering, he hasn't got past him, has he?
He hasn't.
I think, as I say that, he had a twitch under brakes. Oh, is he going to...
It's not done, though. It's not done.
Hold it. Because I just jinxed him by saying that. He should have to drive out of here. Oh, he left him room. Brilliant driving. I love that. You know, left him that tiny bit of room.
And actually, look at that. Actually having the quieter run.
See the two different lines through that corner? That was really cool to see. I don't think people appreciate that as much as if you're driving the car. They both had the same end result, but two completely different lines going through the corner.
Yeah, well, I mean, and two completely different cars as well. One front mounted engine rear-wheel drive, and the other one a mid-rear mounted engine sitting just over top of the rear wheels.
Just going to step away from this fight briefly because Louis is... actually no, my data might have been misleading me. Louis was showing as 0.2 away from Daniel Johnson, but that's...
You just wanted to put back up again to somewhere it says that little comment.
That's honestly not why my data was showing him as 0.2. Absolutely.
Well, there you go. You
there you go. What a bully. Commentator's curve.
Yeah. And that was a hard spot to rejoin, so it's good that you turned away from it before we saw him get absolutely pole-axed to the side. By a GTP car coming around the corner. There you go. There's Louis over the fence.
10.5 minutes.
Alright. Okay, I apologise for what I'm about to do. Evening, Louis. How are you tonight?
Good.
Shane's got great light showing a little message about me on your name.
Dude, have you not noticed that yet?
Oh, I've been there for years, mate.
It has.
But we just turned over to you when you spun, and I was like, well, they will teach him for having that down there. So we've seen you have some good battles, though, mate. Great battles.
Mate, I tell you what, if we'd finished the race on the first sprint, would have been happy.
Yep.
But we didn't.
No.
Not so happy.
Okay. So
however, you know, the learning curve is steep.
Yes. So I was like, all right, catch you later. I was just going to put you back down.
See you, mate.
So at least you're out there still kicking around, mate. It's about enjoyment. So yeah, but we saw you spin. You're famous. Change your SDK name, please, and we'll see you later.
I'll think about it.
All right, mate. Cheers, mate.
See you, mate.
Carry on.
See ya.
Carry on. Carry on. Carry on. You guys could have chimed in. Didn't want to hassle him.
We didn't
Well,
have a chance.
just having too much fun listening to you hassling him.
I actually think you're too scared of him because people know Louis the special one. I can tell you that. You don't want to get on the wrong side of Louis, do you? That's agreed. Come on help me out. Trust me. Alright.
You believe what you want to believe,
right?
Sean. Yeah.
You enjoyed the first race, that's good. What was
That's
it?
good. No, it's great. All I was going to say is I was going to join in that, but I just came into a massive coughing fit, so I had to turn
You're fair enough too.
microphone off.
I understand if anyone doesn't want to get into an argument with Louis, we said that.
Yeah, no, it's, he's certainly a special character, our Louis, and he's certainly got his views and opinions, and won't be changed on them one way or another.
Right.
And that's good. We wouldn't expect anything less.
No, of course not.
So this looks like Blake's actually been able to pull out a bit more of a gap over Quinn there.
Well, I did say he was really pushing those tyres earlier, Quinn, so he is quite strategic, I think, on how he plans his attacks as well from time to time, Quinn does, so he'll make a bit of a push. If it's not successful, he holds back and just sets back into a rhythm to let those tyre temps come back down, and then he'll use that as an opportunity, obviously with the driver in front thinking that they've disengaged or got a gap. He'll then next minute through about 3 or 4 corners start catching you under brakes a wee bit more, and he'll then re-engage and put a challenge up. So maybe in the next lap we'll see that gap margin come down a little bit more. Maybe he's just putting some feelers out there on Blake to see if there is any other areas of weakness. But as we know from Blake, he is very quick in his BMW there from time to time. He's won a few races and podiumed a fair few more, and he's certainly been up there in the championship standing. So he's certainly no slouch.
Oh, we've got breaking news. We have a drive-through. Mark Mudray, 17 points.
There we go.
And on that note, we are still looking for someone to tell us what the highest incident points at the end of this race is going to be. So
So I wonder if anyone at home can guess who it would be. Is that what you're saying, Shane?
well, I think we just want to know the number or the closest to it.
All right. Well,
So at the moment we know it's 17. Well, no, because there's still enough of the race to go. About
18,
about 8 minutes.
19. Now I'm joking. Don't listen to me people at home. I was right with it. He's got 18. Just so you know, he's got 7 minutes now. I'm ruining it for everyone. Yeah, sorry, Shane. I feel Like, if you can ever hear the sound of someone shaking their head, I can hear it right now. You know what I mean?
It was. You can hear it, eh?
Are you hearing that much?
Tom.
You hearing that much wind coming across my mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, next time.
That's so funny.
But you have clicked onto a really interesting battle there, which has been happening for the last lap and a bit, between Nathan Gardner and the car 27 there on the inside of the yellow and black Black's car number 5, Jared Eccleston. So these two Porsches doing Porsche things 5-on-1. Be interesting to see if they can do just as good of a battle as what we saw from Paul and Darren earlier on.
Absolutely, although I dispute your comment that they're doing Porsche things. Oh, actually, no, I stand corrected. That's very much Porsche things. That's very much Porsche things.
Shane's fault. 100%.
I was literally going to say, in my experience, Porsche's doing Porsche things is losing the rear end.
If there was ever a god, oh my god, did he just reach down with his little people fingers and go and gave that car a kick?
Okay, we got Louis, we've got Jared, we saw Balaki take out a car. What more do we need to actually do? I tell you what, just don't get on our streams and you'll drive clean. That's all I can say. Alright.
Yeah.
Aaron Goodrick, we got him. I think he was a bystander, wasn't he? That wasn't quite on Aaron with his gun.
Right, so which one of these guys is going to spin now?
Probably both at the same time, to be fair.
We haven't talked how cool the new Mustang actually looks. Can we not just talk about it?
We have certainly made mention
Oh,
about
this-
how cool the new Ford Mustang GT3 looks.
It's pretty.
And
The wings are pretty.
do they not look really awesome wrapped in that yellow and yellow purpley pink ensemble from MRX?
I think Emirates have been a bit lazy because they've had this paint for about 5 seasons now. He really needs to step his game up. Oh, down the inside, is he going for it? Yeah, come on. It is a cool paint though. I can understand why you wouldn't change it.
I would put in my vote for my favourite Mustang livery on the new GT3s, but I don't think there's any Jigsaw drivers actually racing tonight. Steve was in earlier, but he had issues. Had to bail. Sean's
I don't
commentating.
have any colours.
Leon's making noises like a Mustang.
It's quite funny. Leon hasn't been in, and as soon as the stream starts, he asks a question in the streaming service about something. I'm like, you couldn't have put the worst time to ask the question. And I was trying to stream, and you asked the question. It's like, what time? I wonder what time we stream. Oh, 8:30. Oh, I'll ask the question at 8:31. It's like, I hope he's listening because what a time to ask the question. Oh my god.
Wow.
What did we just see?
See you, Jared.
That was.
But anyway,
I don't know what that was.
I hope Leon replies to that because I thought that was too funny. You know me.
Oh, here we go. You're talking about this, Doug.
He's coming back.
He's coming
He's
back.
going to do it.
Making a push for the last couple of minutes of racing.
He's got 2 minutes to go, just over 2 minutes. So.
And that's the thing. You don't have to do it early and spend your tyres and then try and defend for a whole race. Just sit back, stay close, start closing in toward the end, push up.
Yeah. If Quinn gets this, he can give giveaways for money that he has to put in someone else's account. I like that idea. But we guessed it.
Yeah.
Sorry, Doug guessed it. See someone apologising online. I always love hearing that of the drivers.
So Jared Eggleston just doing a drive-through by the look of it.
How dare you beat me to the incident point?
Actually, he might have taken a wee. He might have actually taken a wee pit stop.
He probably thought it was compulsory. Sure.
So I can see that he just had a 5 second stop.
No, he's only got 9 incident points, so he's definitely
Louis had a 6 second stop in the race.
That's interesting. Maybe he felt like his...
Maybe a fuel thing.
Yeah, it could be a fuel thing, or maybe he's felt like he's burned up too much of his tyres and he wants to new set.
Could be. That 5 seconds, I mean, that would only barely cover one tyre.
Yeah, that's true, actually.
Nick McIndoe had a 22-second stop right on the dot, and I would have said that would have been a set of tyres.
Oh, this could be Quinn's chance as Blake's giving way to the GTP cars. Oh, that's Louis off the track again.
Ooh.
But they're going to go side by side up here. Blake's going to have the inside though, but can Quinn carry the momentum around the outside?
Oh, run him wide. Ah, love it. Absolutely love it.
It's great racing, isn't it? We're just ticking down now to the end of the race time in a couple of seconds.
I think Quinn's done that quite wrong though, because he's attacked him at the same spot that he did last time and it didn't work out. Whereas I think if he had a good look in here, at this braking point, and it would be, I'd say if he was closer and hadn't tried earlier, that would have probably been his one opportunity to be able to sneak on down the inside.
Yeah, and I think this, they'll get one more lap after this unless Stefan can lap them before they get to the line, but I don't see Stefan on sight, so they're going to cross the line before he gets to them, and they'll have one more lap, so Quinn will have
One go at it, eh?
Yeah,
One go at it.
a few more chances to get by. But it's not far because Stephen McCartan's coming around the final corner now, and he is going to
That's
take out the GTP class.
We actually haven't talked about Stefan. He's absolutely a racer through and
he's a
through, isn't he?
flyer. He's an absolute flyer. I mean, you look at that.
The talent he's
He was
got is absolutely
17
amazing.
seconds ahead of Christian Hermanson there as he comes across the
And
line
Hermanson's
there
no
in
slouch
second.
either, eh? That's my
No.
point.
Not at all. Christian very, very fast, and both
Even Aaron
fields
Goodrich.
of racing.
Aaron Goodrich probably needs to spend a bit more time in the car, but he's faster than me in one of these things. A very talented man.
Well, I mean, we look at this. So Aaron Goodrich, 40 seconds away from P2. If that puts it into perspective of how quickly those guys are up the field.
Yeah, that's a huge gap in a short race, and
and take nothing like that, as I said, Aaron's very,
yeah,
very
absolutely.
talented in his own right.
So I think for next season, moving on with the HPR series, is we will certainly be keeping the hypercars, but we may have to start rolling in through GT4 cars and put our fastest boys into those and see if they can still win a race.
So Darren taking out P1 and GT3.
Well done.
Paul Blomqvist going to come home second, and Quinn has managed to get the job done.
Oh, you need to find the replay before we leave tonight after this stream.
I certainly will be finding that, and
he planned that so well.
oh,
Well
there was a bit of to and fro on that as well. So they crossed the line. Quinn's going to take out the podium. Blake just missing out on that, unfortunately. But a fine performance from both of them nonetheless, and looks like they're just about going to be the last people across the line to take that checkered flag. So now we can go back and have a look to what looks like it was actually quite a fairly lengthy battle on the final lap there.
So this is pretty much where we disengaged from them earlier as well. So this will give us
we care about third place. Is this for third?
It is for third.
We actually care about this more than everything else, and I think that's what a true race is about. Yes, winning's cool, but the battles are where it's at. This is
absolutely
amazing. And trying to do it clean as well, isn't it? It's about doing it clean.
Oh, and these guys have been, right through the race. I mean, we were tuning into this battle between them at the 12th minute mark. And, this is another 20 minutes down the line that, this has come to fruition for Quinn. But that's how long that they battled all that time, essentially.
And I believe Blake would still be absolutely fizzing how cool that battle was, even though he didn't win it.
No, he was. I just heard him over the race radio. Both of them congratulating each other on an awesome race, and Blake saying, "Well done." So
I think this is them taking the white flag now. So the first bit I jumped to was what we'd already seen, but we'll let the final lap run through with them because I think it's going to be well worth watching.
And as we watch, we can always thank our sponsors.
Of course we can. Thanks MRP. Thanks Napa for sponsoring the Broadcasting Lounge. And thanks Phoenix Driving Development for sponsoring this week's racing.
And thanks for Sean for giving up his free time. First thing we've done for a long time. I enjoyed it, so thank you very much.
Oh, they've disappeared off screen there, unfortunately. Hopefully we can get them back.
That's when the path would have... No way!
Oh, it was too.
That's a massive I think I'll watch it on screen myself. I can go back and watch it. I've got it on a different, obviously not on the screen. I've got it on my computer.
I don't know why it's done that. I've got draw all cars turned on. I don't know why iRacing's lost them there, but anyway.
What happened was it just wanted to screw with us. That's what iRacing was. So anyway, it's funny. That's awesome, man. What a race, guys! What an exciting series you got going, and as I said, I know I haven't been in for a while, but I've really enjoyed coming along tonight. It's been cool.
Thank you, mate. We've got Nico Cordia just hanging out in the waiting room there. He was obviously the winner of the first race, and but he had a bit of a challenge there, getting taken out at the beginning of the second race. We can have a quick chat with him about how tonight's race went.
Absolutely.
Bring down.
Oh, knock knock, here he comes. Helmet's getting thrown into the corner of the floor. There's disgust written all over his face. Biltong coming out through the gaps of his teeth. Nico, Cordia, welcome to the lounge.
Welcome. Thank you. Yeah, what a shocking round, unfortunately. Very,
Oh,
very
only the second race?
only the second race. Very confused in the first race.
Yes.
I had no idea what was going on. I saw Darren and I can't remember who was running P2 now, and the
Paul?
other Paul Blomqvist. I don't know what exactly happened because they were just slightly too far ahead. And the guys were running amazing pace. I mean, good hats off to them. And I mean, me personally as well, I love the Porsche around Algarve. It's a great little car and track combo. And I saw something happen, and Paul went off, and I saw obviously Darren in the near distance, and all of a sudden I'm catching up to him, and I'm like, oh damn, I think they crashed or touched or something, and he has got damage. And then it says one more lap to go, and all of a sudden I'm right up on him, but he's like checking up. I see the brake lights going on, and now I don't know what's happening. So I thought maybe something happened in the comms box, that one of the admins said something and I didn't hear it or didn't come through to me. So I check up, and then we cross the line and it says last lap, and he just accelerates away, and then I just chase after him. And coming up to the line, I don't know if he ran out of fuel, because I know he said he was running low on fuel, and I stole the win.
That probably answers some questions. So I get the feeling from that he was potentially trying to avoid doing that extra lap.
I
If he didn't have enough
believe
fuel,
so.
and
The
then,
wrong-
but
Really
of course
go.
it all depends on the GTP leader with this multi-class. So he
Correct.
might not have been quite clued up on that, and
Yeah.
obviously wasn't quite able to save enough fuel to get to the end with that extra lap he had to do, and just lost
There you
out.
go.
So that probably we were very confused over it as well. But I think you just answered the question for us there, Nico.
I was so confused, and I went across the line, and I'm like, and I go on the race comms, and I'm like, Darren, I'm so confused. I think I stole the win from you, but he said he was running low on fuel, so I think he ran out of fuel just as we got to the line, and I would have ran up the back of him. So, yay, I got the win, and here comes round two, and unfortunately, I think it was Blake and Nick.
Yep.
I think Blake turned him. That's how it looked on the replay when I went into, because I had to tow. I had so much damage I couldn't keep the car straight.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I had to tow, and I just saw the 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 gap just getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
But yeah, so there was a level of contact, and I'm sure if you'll tune in and have a look at the stream later on or tomorrow, we went and had a look from a few different angles. It looked like it was so there was contact, but probably a netcode error has made that come off a lot worse than what it probably ever should have been. So
Yeah.
have a gander at that one, and then you can have a look at your own review and see if the two match up. But I'm sure you'll probably take away not too much malice towards Balake in that instance.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, when I looked at it, I said to my teammate as well. I said, "Hey, it's a racing incident. It wasn't on purpose." And you know what the hardest thing was? I was right next to Darren, looking in the rearview mirror, and all I see is a sideways Mustang, and I knew it was going to hit either me or Darren.
Yeah.
And I was the unfortunate one that got hit, and the damage was just too severe. I had to tow. I wouldn't have
Yeah.
made it back to pit lane under 3 minutes.
No,
No,
Shane called that too.
Yeah.
Was it Shane? Shane called
Yeah,
it?
it was me. It was me. Give me the credit,
Shane had
please,
that one.
Sean.
Sorry.
I didn't do all those laps with a crabbing Merc back in the day to not get
That's
credit for
To know when to tow,
for
when
giving
not
the
to tow.
credit.
Yeah. How much of that lap at the Nordschleife did you try and do again?
No,
We have
Yeah,
races
certainly
like
we certainly felt for you on that one, Nico, because
Yeah.
it did like there was absolutely nothing you could do about it, and you just had a car in your right rear turning into the corner, and it just gave you huge damage, and yeah, it was certainly the right call by the look of it to tow. So we really felt for you on that one.
Oh,
We did,
thanks,
yeah.
guys. Yeah, no, it was a bit of a hard one. But yeah, look, overall pace on in the Mustang, I was really happy. I felt I had it. Even the race two, I wouldn't have won it. Darren and Paul was just on the next level. But I definitely had the pace still to be top 5. So unfortunate, and yeah, we move on to Nürburgring, which is one of my favorite tracks for sure.
Yeah, so the GP layout next week and first endurance round of the series.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it was.
Last
No,
week
it's
was
the
an endurance
second.
round.
Yeah.
Sorry, second. It is. Yes, and obviously the first one being an endurance race.
Yeah, so
Yes.
next week. Next week.
Next week, yes.
Awesome
Oh,
stuff.
we have-
Thanks, guys. Look forward to watching it back again as always. And yeah, thanks for the stream. I just want to give a shout out to you guys taking your time and putting the stream out there for us drivers and for the fans and for the viewers and all that. So yeah, thanks a lot for those guys.
Cheers, mate.
Cheers,
Thank you,
Nico.
Nico.
And we have someone else waiting up in the waiting room.
We do.
Yeah, no one of great importance waiting up there, and someone
No.
that we probably don't need to worry about talking too much about. Yeah, nothing really super special about someone who can beat
Drive
second
away.
place by 17 seconds.
17 seconds? Is that what it was?
17
It
seconds.
probably could have been more.
Yeah.
And he doesn't say anything.
I don't think it could have been. Traffic.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be confident saying, nah, mate, 17's all I can do. Yeah. Well done.
No,
Congratulations, mate.
congrats, mates. That was awesome.
Yeah, cheers, guys. That was a good race.
Great commanding race tonight from start to finish with both heats there.
Yeah, no, it was good. Christian made it a lot more difficult in the first one than the second. I think he had a little spin in the second, but no, it was good fun racing, and it was good that the GT3s held their line. They're not as scared of us DTPs anymore.
Yeah. So that was
Makes
my
it a lot
question.
easier.
Is it getting easier? Are they just holding their line, or do you find you're a bit safer? What's the technique to passing them in your eyes?
It really depends on sort of where you are on the track, sort of thing. So like turn 1 at Portimao is quite a hot spot because the DDPs can go through there lightning quick where the GT3s can't. So it's kind of like for that sort of corner, it's more about just being patient and taking them on the exit rather than trying to take the entry because you lose more on the lap time as a whole.
Yes.
And then other corners, sort of into the hairpins, GD3s can outbrake GDPs in the last sort of 25% of the braking and the trail braking because of the ABS.
Yes.
So it's
Wow,
kind
there you
of,
go. Cool.
you're just trying to sort of take the exits where the hybrid comes in and you get the extra kick. But for the most part, all the slow corners, the GD3s, unless you're already sort of there to overtake, it's a bit difficult to actually make the pass, and then you're just wasting everyone's time, lap time. So
Yeah.
It'd be just to dial it back and wait for the exit and hit the boost and see you later.
yeah, it's especially at this track where you've got a lot of slow apexes. It's easier just to take it out. At Watkins last week is a little bit different. You've got to sort of go around the outside of 90% of the corners because they're just downforce corners.
Yeah. Fast flowing corners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll probably be the same next week at Nürburgring. There'll probably be a lot more sort of sending it into the faster corners and probably scaring GT3s again, but it'll be fun.
It's scary then, or you scared because it's like I don't know. It's just amazing the pace difference. And Doug here actually gives off vroom vroom sounds when they pass. So like he's an 8-year-old kid again. So it's quite funny.
I love it. I mean, we've said it so many times, and unfortunately for you, Stefan, you're probably not so much on the receiving end of it as like what the likes of Shane myself, or Sean are. But when you're already putting the GT3 car to the max, and then you've got a GTP or two of them taking two different lines around you, through you, in between you, weaving in and out, it's like I said, it's just one thing, just makes your jaw hit the floor.
Yeah, it is pretty crazy. And sort of not that long ago, the Watkins 6-hour special event from iRacing was in the GD3, and yeah, coming out of the bus stop, 2 GDPs, one either side, sort of they're battling for the lead, and I'm just moseying around, and it wakes you up pretty quick.
Yeah. I certainly found coming up through the through the S's from pit lane exit there. You're leaning so hard on the tyre while trying to make sure you've got the best line through there, and you've got GTP cars going either side of you, and then still zigzagging their way out the other end, and you're like, how can you change direction so fast and keep that thing under control? And then by the time you've gathered your thoughts, they're gone, and then you've got the next one right on your tail as you come into the braking for the bus stop, and you go, oh, pray and hold on and turn in.
Yeah, pretty much. Especially coming into the bus stop, it's very much pray and hope that they back off.
Yeah. Certainly a treat, and it's good to see that you're up there and giving it a nudge. Your teammate chugging along not too badly tonight. Better in the first race, not so good in the second again.
Yeah, he's not doing too bad. He's actually blown out or stretched the tendon in his elbow or something, so he was driving one-handed this week.
Okay.
And the other teammate Dylan, he's a horse mechanic for Sonic Motorsport, so he's packed up and off to Townsville, I think is the next round this weekend or something. So he's unfortunately too busy to race this week, but
yep,
he'll hopefully be back next week.
Oh, very good. Awesome. Oh, congratulations again on a great result there, Stefan, and certainly look forward to seeing how you challenge those boys next week over there at Nürburgring. Any shout outs for from your end?
Yeah, I'll just shout out team sponsors: Blackout Electrical, Simrig, Distraction, Palmerston Bakery, DSM Painting and Decorating, and Shunt Scenery.
Very
and
cool.
of course, you guys as well for putting it on.
Oh, shucks. Oh, thank you. We do it for you guys.
It's very much appreciated.
All good, mate. No worries.
All right. Thank you very much, Stefan. We'll say sayonara for the evening.
Yeah, boys.
All right. Cheers.
It doesn't look like we actually had anybody put in a guess for the most incidents in the second race.
No.
Scotty did guess 7 very early on for the most incident points at that time in the first race. He did also say I don't need any more prizes, and I just started watching. But if he's the only person that's put in a guess,
nah, I'm gonna. I've just been talking to him on Messenger, saying, nah, you can't.
well, he has also said a little bit further down, if no one guesses, the prize goes to P12 overall. So is that Scott nominating one of the drivers to take away his prize there?
I reckon he could do that. I think that's fair enough. If not, we could do something over our socials and get something going there as well. But awesome work tonight. I think that race, I was on the edge of my seat for quite a few laps. Some awesome battles. I really enjoyed watching the racing rather than being in it.
It was mega. There was some really cool racing happening there throughout, and I hope everyone at home has enjoyed it just as much as what we did. And if you weren't riding the excitement wave as much as what we were, maybe you need to get on board with the sim racing, find out how challenging and fun it is, and then you'll be able to appreciate these small moments like we do.
And frustrating because you didn't add that in, but anyway.
It's not frustrating.
It can be frustrating at times, but it's certainly very rewarding. Go and talk to Barry, at MRP if you can, to get involved, and then once you got all the gear, hit us up, join some sessions. If you join partway through the season, you still got plenty of less competitive racing to get involved in, more fun stuff on Wednesdays and Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays. So get involved in that. Leon's riding the excrement wave, apparently. He's just commented there.
Wow.
Good on him.
Thanks for that.
Yeah, thanks for sharing, Leon. And thanks to Phoenix Driver Development for sponsoring this week's racing. And a big thanks, as usual, to Napa for sponsoring the broadcasting now. It's very awesome to have those guys on board for a couple of seasons now and giving us lots of cool things to give away, which has been awesome. So
we have indeed. So yeah, get in touch more with us during the streams, because Napa certainly do come forward with some really awesome and mega prizes that we get to give away to the people at home. At the moment, I think Scott Pickering's sitting on about half of that bounty, like a little pirate over there on the west coast. Just put them all away in his treasure chest. So if you want to be like Scott and have some cool products, have a look at the Supercars Ends community page and see what he posted up of his winnings there. And that could be you, just by simply touching base with us on the live chat and putting in a few random guesses from time to time.
Absolutely. So make sure you tune in the future. Next one is going to be V8's Tuesday at Detroit, so that's going to be some exciting racing. I think we're going to be
Detroit.
Div 1 for the stream next week, even though Div 2 missed our chance with some technical difficulties this week.
You're so salty.
Well, actually, looking at the stream curses that were going on tonight, maybe it's just as well I haven't been on the stream. Maybe that's why I've been getting good results.
Yeah, 100%. And just a quick shout out because it's obviously the series I love. It's double points, so the drivers need to turn up because it's heat racing.
Yeah,
So
thanks,
there's
Sean.
double points on offer for Detroit round. So it's happening only twice in the season. Drivers must turn up and nice some quick racing, and it should be action packed, just like tonight was. So awesome.
Yeah, thanks for making it double points on a night that could go very easily wrong. But you could also tune in next Thursday for some more HPR series, and we're going to be at the Nürburgring for another endurance race, so that's going to be well worth a watch as well.